Hey guys, today I have a Kenmore Elite washer and electric dryer matching set, and right now it's getting started, adding water. Got a really heavy towel load, so this particular one, you've got these little spots where you can put your soap, bleach, and fabric softener, and it actually runs water through them to make sure you're getting all of your detergent in, and so that's what it's doing right now. It's running where the soap would go, and it's going to fill up here with water and get started. And we've got it set just a normal cycle. It's determining the wash right now. You also have a pre-soak option. I've got it set to the highest spin speed, which you wouldn't necessarily want to do with a full heavy towel load. However, for testing purposes, I kind of set everything to the max and just let it rip. But this would be a lot more like a medium or a low, or a low would be for like your big bedding items. You can check that in the owner's manual. It kind of gives you an idea, but normal laundry or lighter laundry, heavier items, the towels, jeans, that kind of thing, and then delicate or big bulky items you want to go on low. You can control your temperature, and then you've got some additional options here. So lots that you can do with this machine here. You want to make sure you use a good HE soap. I'll kind of talk about that and some other things you need to hook it up here in just a minute. But we'll let it go ahead and fill all the way up. I'll come back and show you that it's agitating, then that it has a nice, fast, smooth final spin cycle. Then we're going to move the clothes over to the dryer and show you everything on the dryer. All things you check out if you were standing here yourself checking them out. That way you know when you get it home, plug it in, you're good to go. It's the whole point of these videos. It's the fourth load. I've gone through and tested everything, cleaned them inside and out, made sure everything is ready to rock on them. So we'll come back on that washer. All right. It has stopped and started the agitation cycle. Now how this works on these with the agitation plate instead of the center agitator, how they're supposed to work anyway, is essentially it pushes the clothes up through the middle and you see them going down the side, and they'll just do this vortexing for the 15-20 minutes depending on which cycle you set it on. Or if you tell it that it's super dirty on the, like here on the soil level, this is how long it's going to agitate for. So if you get super dirty clothes, you could tell it heavy and it might sit here and agitate in the soapy water for 50 minutes. You have control over that, and that's how that works. And this is kind of the same idea as a front load washer, where front load washer spins and the clothes fall on themselves in the sudsy soapy water. Same idea, that's the agitation. And this water isn't real soap because I actually use a cap load of bleach, but when you're using your HE soap, this would be nice and sudsy. Everything would be getting penetrated and clean. So, and then it'll go through the rinse cycle next, moves on to rinse, drain out, and be on the final spin. And that's what we'll come back for next and show you that it's got a nice, fast, smooth final spin cycle. Now for the hookup of your washer, you might consider a set of steel braided hoses like this pack here. I've got a link to both of these in the description. If you have trouble finding it, you can just click that. Also supports the channel, so we really appreciate that. But you can see here you've got blue for cold water, red, so it's easy to keep them apart. Now the steel braided is important because the cheap rubber ones have a tendency to swell and burst, and you definitely don't want that happening, especially if you're not home. And then a surge protector, there's many different styles, and I got a couple linked in the description. I kind of like this one because I'm always plugging other things in, but you can also get dedicated ones. You just want to make sure that it's 900 joules or higher, and that's going to protect your washing machine and the electronics on it. This one also has I believe that's a 4-foot cable on it too. So something like that to protect the electronics on it, super important. And this pretty much covers the washer. All right, we're moving into the rinse cycle now. Moving out of the wash cycle into the rinse cycle. Draining all that water out. Now it's going to spin to extract all the used up water. Then it's going to fill back up with fresh water for that rinse cycle. All right, we're in that final spin cycle. See it spinning nice and fast. Smooth operation with that heavy load of towels. Super important that you get these washers level front to back and balanced. And then once you do that, you want to make sure you give each leg on there about a quarter turn so that it's nice and snug, because these do spin really fast. All right, we'll let that finish up and we'll move over to the dryer. All right, now when talking about hooking up the dryer, a couple of things you're going to need. You're going to need to find out what type of power cord you're going to need. These are all considered accessories, and they do not come with a new dryer or a used dryer typically. This is a 3-prong power cord. It's like that there. Has 3 hookups for the back, and it's 30 amp. You want to make sure you don't get a 50 amp that has a straight one here. That's for a stove. You want to make sure you get the right one for a dryer. And I've got these linked in the listing description also for you there. Now this is a 4-prong, so it looks a little different, but it still has the L there versus a straight one, because they also sell this in a 50 amp for a stove. Very similar, so you want to make sure you get the right one for a dryer. You can take a picture of your plug in your laundry room and match it up, make sure you get the right one. This goes on the back of the dryer, and then it extends out to wherever your wall hookup is. Super important to make sure you get one. It's easy to use. A lot of them have a flathead screwdriver on it to tighten it down. I like these wings here. You could just do it by hand. It's so much easier because every 3 or 4 months you're going to want to take this off and clean it out, so this makes it a lot easier to do. And then lastly, I always recommend a good dryer sheet, and I do not do fabric softener in any of the washers that I use or the one at home. Fabric softener is like putting glue in your machine. Eventually it gums everything up. Use 2 or 3 of these and you get the same softness effect on your clothes, but it doesn't mess anything up. So that's kind of the essentials there for your dryer. All right, now we've got that dryer plugged in, and also you can hear the blower motor, and it's pretty loud. That's because I don't have a vent hose on the back. It is going to come with the power cord, but once you get that vent hose on the back, it muffles that sound. But it's got a super powerful blower motor in there, and it does an excellent job pulling that air through and getting your clothes dry super fast. But just wanted to throw that out there, because you can hear it when the vent hose isn't on there. But I'll show you right now, it is heating like it's supposed to, so about 85 on top of the dryer. We'll shoot this right inside the heating element tube. Nice and super hot coming out of that tube right there. That in turn is going to heat the inside of your dryer up, get the clothes nice and dry, pull the air out right through here. So you want to make sure your lint trap gets clean and cleared before each and every load, so you got good airflow. So go ahead and close that back up, hit start. We're just doing a normal cycle. So you can hear that blower motor kicking in. And you have tons of different options here that you can adjust for any type of load that you're wanting to do. And you've also got some additional features and whatnot. You can pause and read all of those if you want. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and let this finish up. We've got the washer all clean and cleared out. Nice king size capacity on both of these. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys have a great day.